Angel. Welcome back to my channel. I am feeling called to sit down with you to get raw and real, have a very intimate conversation on emotional alchemy. A lot of my whiteboard videos, I teach you exactly what it means to shift your frequency. We talk about inner work, we talk about energetics and metaphysics, but I want to have a raw conversation with you on what exactly it means to release those subconscious blocks, those internal blocks that are creating you to show up in life, in your relationship, in your business, in ways that are blocking you, stunting your growth. And I have been getting a lot of comments lately on how much my glow has changed, my energy, and I want to exactly break down what's been going on with me, because I, as you know, am an inner work and energetics coach, and I teach my clients how to shift their frequency, their identity to match the identity that they desire to create for themselves, the identity that owns their dream life. And the energetic shift that you've witnessed in my previous videos is nothing more than embodiment of the teachings that I teach. A lot of the blocks that I see that are stunting people's growth in my clients in their business or relationships is emotional wounds. A lot of us have trapped energy in our energy centers. Trapped emotion in the body is the cause of the mental blocks that is putting a cap limit over you. And my clients come to me knowing that they have this dream life, they have this desired reality that they can feel they are capable of. They have this inner knowing they are meant for something more, but they can feel something is off. And what I find is that these emotional wounds stem from mother wounds. Our mother is the first representation of emotion, embodiment, feminine energy. And there could be signs in your life that are showing you that you have mother wounds without knowing, but you are simply an adult now or an adolescent observing how your emotions or your inner child is controlling your life. And maybe you're tired of it. Maybe you are wondering, what is going on? Why do I feel so blocked? Why can't I get past this emotional pattern, this behavior or thought pattern? So if you're not sure if you have a mother wound, today we're going to explain inner work truths on the emotional blocks you may feel that can be rooted in your relationship with your mother, aka creating mother wounds. We're also going to talk about the energetics of those wounds to heal their mother wound, because on the other side of this, my love, is freedom, love, a deeper connection to yourself. And I am someone that is actively healing my mother wound. I come from a background of epigenetic parental trauma. The women in my lineage have been known to have mother and father wounds, and I am the generational curse breaker of that. And all of my content, you guys, is the representation of embodiment, what I live and breathe by, and what I teach my community. Healing truly is a journey. It is a journey getting closer to God, getting closer to your soul. And on the other side of healing and releasing these emotional blocks is freedom. Freedom from bondage. Bondage of the victim mentality who wants to point the finger and say, you did this to me. My wounds are your fault. I want to help you unlock a deeper connection to yourself by releasing that victim mindset. So we're going to be shifting perspectives. I'm going to raise your consciousness with inner work. So let's get started. So what is the mother wound? First of all, I want you to detach the word mother, because we're done with the victim mindset. We're done with pointing the finger. The story of blame is what keeps you bonded to the past, bonded to trauma, bonded to victim mentality. And you are beyond this, my love. So give yourself permission to free yourself from that. Your mother likely triggered emotional wounds within you, and emotional wounds form when your emotional needs were either not met, inconsistent, or felt unsafe. And all of that combined is what creates your identity and the way you show up in the world today. Like I stated earlier, your mother or your feminine energy figure in your life that raised you, if you did not have a mother, is your first representation of emotion, embodiment, the being energy of the manifestation equation. She shows you what it means to embrace, to be, to create. She shows you what love is and your connection to self through her own embodiment. She develops your connection to your own emotions. And inner work truth number 1 that I have written down here for you. Your inner child is the one that's running the show. Your inner child is the one that is holding on to the emotional wounds, the one holding on to the trapped emotion, connected to the old story, the old frequency, the story that keeps you bonded to victim mentality and anchored to the past. And your inner child is creating chaos now in your adult life because your inner child, with all of these emotions, right, does not have the insight or the depth of the mind that it is required in adulthood. So as you are adulting or just existing in your life, your inner child pops up throughout your daily life with those wounded emotions and comes out. Your inner child is the cause that creates the effects that take place in your life, whether it is emotional breakouts, emotional fits, crashing out over people, over not getting results that you want, maybe crashing out against your partner, or having random moments where you feel emotions surface and you're questioning, why am I crying right now? What am I feeling? The inner child can show up in your life in a number of ways, and it can be very confusing because you're not sure what it is you're feeling, where it's coming from, and why. And this leads me to hidden truth number 2. The old story is what keeps your inner child safe. Think about a child. Children naturally point the finger. When they want something, they cry for it. And maybe you could think of a time in your life when you wanted something so bad and your parent was like, no, I'm not buying that for you. And you guys are at the store. You cry and you blame them. You point the finger and you get mad, right? Well, that story is what makes the inner child feel safe, bonded. And the truth is that your inner child always exists with you. Even when you become an adult or you get old, your inner child will always look to you to show it that it is safe in every aspect of your life, especially in your inner work journey, on your journey of evolution and growth with God, with yourself, your career, whatever your goals are. Expansion requires you to create safety so your inner child can look at you and say, okay, is this safe? Can we do this? But when the inner child is wounded, holding these blocks, I like to use the analogy of a wound. So if you have a cut on your body, right? Cuts are naturally designed to heal. Wounds heal naturally. The body is designed to heal itself. Well, the old story your inner child clings onto is constantly picking at the wound, stopping the scab from developing, keeping the cut open and bleeding. It's not able to heal. Therefore, if you were to go about your life, go outside, go to work, etc., you're going to be bleeding on your clothes, right? People are going to notice it. You're going to feel it. It's going to hurt. It's going to affect you throughout the day. It'll be on your mind. That analogy explains exactly what trapped emotion does to you. There are many ways that the mother wound affects your life emotionally, through behavior, as well as through relationships, your career, and money. There are a few signs or patterns I've written down in case you're not sure if you have mother wounds or emotional wounds affecting you. Overthinking how other people perceive you. Constantly in a state of unsureness, insecurity, maybe even comparing yourself to others because you don't feel good enough. The inner child is longing for the love and security that mom would normally provide in a healthy relationship, a healthy family dynamic. But because you may not have received that in yourself or your mother, you long for it. You may even have a fear of rejection or abandonment, feeling emotionally responsible for other people, carrying on the emotional burdens of especially your siblings. And that was a big realization for me in my healing journey. Feeling so responsible for their emotions, their upbringings, their well-beings, and it creating guilt within you. Whether it's your siblings or your parents or family or just people in general, which causes you to suffer in an unhealthy manner, especially when you are watching the news. When you see what is going on in the world and you can't help but feel tremendous suffering, seeing other people suffer in the world or going through hardships, you tend to carry that on as your own, and it affects you, causing you to feel things like guilt, causing you to feel like you are not good enough because you cannot help them in the ways that you desire, which is very draining. Some behavioral patterns, people pleasing, right? When you feel unworthy or you have a fear of abandonment, this causes you to exploit yourself, to leak your life force energy because you crave the security, the attention, the love from your mother or from someone. So you pour into them, which ends up draining you because you don't want to be abandoned, because you want to feel secure, which in relationships, this is why people lose themselves in relationships, because there is an emotional mother wound behind that, which leads us into self-neglect, having a lack of boundaries even because you want acceptance, you want love and connection. And when you find yourself in that chasing behavior, one of the biggest signs I notice in a lot of my clients, they struggle with receiving. And that struggle to receive causes them to self-sabotage in their daily habits, daily routines, or even in their business. But when I take them deep into their subconscious mind and show them the patterns that has caused them to sabotage themselves, their success, it's a light bulb moment for them. Because a lot of the time, emotional wounds or traumatic events occur in their childhood and they black it out. They completely forget about it because they step into survival mechanisms. Speaking more on the subject of struggling to receive, this also can impact money because when you have emotional wounds, you're not able to fully, wholeheartedly step into the embodiment of faith. You desire to create your dream life, your desired reality. Well, that requires the state of being of faith to be fully in alignment. You cannot block yourself from receiving because alignment requires you to have faith in yourself and God to paint the path forward for you. To have such faith, to be able to listen to the impulse, your intuition, to take a step in your journey without knowing what will happen next or what the next 2 steps or 3 steps or 5 steps look like, but having the faith to take that first step and trust in knowing you will learn something in that first step that will then show you what the next step is and the next step. And what this does to a lot of my clients when we get stuck in logic because the emotions block you from faith and embodiment, it suppresses your feminine energy and pushes you into masculine hard drive is what I call it. The logical conscious mind that sabotages everything because you cannot have faith. You have to force and claw your way to what you want logically, strategically, instead of relaxing and receiving. Understanding that your frequency attracts for you, not your effort. It pushes women into their masculine energy as a survival mechanism, like I've just explained. But for men, it blocks men from being able to connect to their heart. Connecting to their heart is how they connect to their feminine energy, because it blocks the aspect of feeling. They may be thinking in alignment, semi-acting in alignment, but feeling gets blocked because they don't know how to feel. They don't know how to feel and embody the identity who is already successful, because emotion can cause you to sabotage what true success means. When success truly means that you first decided to start, and it's the progressive realization of a worthy ideal, but they get caught up in, I'm only successful when I'm holding the crown, when I finally have what it is I want in my hands, but fail to realize that they were already successful because they decided to start. Within their journey, they get so caught up in what's happening right now, failing to take a look at where they came from, who they were when they started, failing to see that how much they've leveled up in their awareness. They grew in their connection with God, healing their wounds, doing inner work. And this exactly aligns with that saying of rock bottom. Truly, there's no such thing as rock bottom, because there's a new level of awareness. Rock bottom is an illusion, because here you are when you started, right? And you take a few steps which led you up to some success, and then maybe you hit a plateau or you dropped back down. You're never going to be where you were when you first started, because there's a new level of awareness. There's a new level of growth, spiritually, mentally, and physical growth. That might even be a hidden truth in itself, but let's move on to some relationship patterns that these emotional wounds create. Like I said earlier, losing yourself in relationships, getting smothered in a relationship, this is why a lot of people lose themselves, who they are, when they get out of a relationship, especially when it's toxic, or they just go through a breakup and you feel so lost. You feel like you've lost your connection to yourself because you were all in an excessive manner, in an unhealthy manner. Another big sign is your attachment style. Me personally, I had the avoidant attachment style. I may have wanted love, right? Wanted security, wanted to relax and receive. I'm talking about the younger version of myself when I was wounded, victim mentality. But I would never let myself tell my partner what I wanted. I just showed up as the avoidant style. These wounds can actually even cause you to attract emotionally unavailable people. You are always going to attract what you are a vibrational match to. Your wounds carry a vibration that will reflect your partner's wounds, your partner's past or upbringing. Becoming conscious of your relationships and the people you've attracted, the type of relationships, there's typically a pattern. Truly, I think that everyone notices when they awaken themselves to that consciousness. And instead of staying in the inner child's broken mindset of, I don't know why I just keep getting cheated on, you shift from your level of awareness to, What am I carrying within me that is causing me to create these effects in my life? I am carrying a wounded frequency. I'm holding on to some kind of story, behavior, thought pattern that is keeping me anchored to results that don't serve me, results that we don't want. All of these wounds is creating a baseline frequency or identity within you of unworthiness. That unworthiness affects what you tolerate in your life, what you attract, and what you believe is possible for you. Worthiness, you are truly living a life that you believe you are worthy of. Everyone is living a life that they believe they are worthy of. And your worthiness always sets a cap limit over yourself, your finances, the beautiful things you get to experience, the life you get to have. And hidden truth number 3, you're emitting the signal of blocked. And when you see all of this chaos unfolding in front of you, right? Because the inner child is creating chaos, pushing you into the logical mind because your connection to self, connection to emotion and embodiment of faith is blocked, is what contributes to you feeling like you have to force outcomes, feeling like you have to keep working hard physically and exhaust yourself when really there is mental blocks happening here. What I truly want you to realize, which is hidden truth number 4, is that the wounds, the relationship, your mother is truly a mirror that reality is trying to hold up to you. Because what keeps us bonded to pain, the stories of the past, is an illusion of thinking our mother and child relationship has to look a certain way, has to be perfect because you're comparing it to others. And that illusion is keeping you anchored to the story of the victim that's creating pain. Truly, people can only push your buttons or wounds if they're attached, if they're plugged in. Wounds is what creates the electricity for the button to get pushed in the first place. Instead of sitting in the pain of managing dysfunction, give yourself permission to relax so you can truly release and free yourself so you can heal. And the best way to do that is by becoming a light. So let's talk about healing these wounds. I want you to get a journal and I want you to ask yourself this question. Do you want to heal? And why? Because here's the hard truth. Majority of people don't want to change. People love unconsciously feeling pain because it feels familiar and it makes reality feel real for them. And stepping into the unknown, which healing is a journey of the unknown, is scary. Requires you to have faith to take the steps to keep going. And for most of us, pain feels good. It feels comfortable. It feels good to stay living in that illusion and constantly just picking at the wound. To add on to this, pain is what relieves you from the responsibility of healing. And something that I fell victim to, it's a big responsibility that I avoided for a long time because I never trusted myself with the responsibility, one, and because it felt inconvenient to me. When in reality, babe, the wounds are inconvenient because the wounds keep showing up day to day in your life. And here's the thing, babe. I'm creating this video for you, telling you how the wounds can show up in your life, but truly, you'll be able to hear this video at your own level of awareness. The level of consciousness that you are at right now, you will receive it at that level. I can tell you, like I tell my clients, what's happening that's causing their buttons to get pushed. But you won't fully realize it until your subconscious is ready to pull it out. And what I've noticed is that when you've truly embraced your healing journey, you're really, really ready. When you tell your subconscious you're ready and it feels you are ready, and you start taking the steps towards healing, your subconscious will reveal to you when it is time. It will reveal moments from the past, impulses on things that you need to do to pull things out of the subconscious so you could finally release them. And why I love working with my clients consistently on a week-to-week basis, things start to surface and need to be actively worked upon, because once you open that door to healing, everything comes out, and it comes out over time. And the most beautiful thing here that I also have written down is trauma can unlock the deepest version of yourself and your purpose. The most beautiful thing that I tell people who have gone through trauma, your trauma you now get to wear as a badge of honor. Because what have you learned? What have you gained from those things? You're now able to understand people better. You're now able to communicate with people better, navigate the world better. You have such unique insight, your third eye, your spiritual eye, to be able to see people, see their heart, see their soul when they speak, connect with them is a gift. Gifts that get unlocked when you open the door to heal your trauma, when you are ready to take on that responsibility. So I want you to journal, do I want to heal and why? Because the most basic answer you're probably thinking is, I want to heal because I'm tired of feeling like this, or I want to just be better. I want to overcome it. But when I truly tell you that healing is a journey that requires you to be all in, to be fully responsible, you're going to get tested for it. Okay? Healing is not for the weak. Your why needs to be strong enough to keep you going, to keep going forward. Oh, looks like my light just died on me. Hold on. Sorry about that. We're back on. You need to get clear on your why, because creating your dream life requires all of you to be able to be the person that can enjoy what you create, have fun during the journey, not beat yourself up about it, and then once you hold the crown, be able to go out and create more. To feel satisfaction and pleasure enjoying what you create requires you to release, to heal, and requires a strong enough why to keep you committed, because you will be tested. Number 2, to healing. I want you to take a look at your mother. Take a look at your ex or your feminine energy figure. If you're a man watching this and maybe you were hurt by a woman that's caused you to have issues with women to not trust women, I want you to take a look at that person and see what's really going on here. See the bigger picture, because it will heal you. The truth is, why they did what they did, why they said what they said, why they hurt you, is because they have a wounded inner child within them. Majority of the time, what's going on is your wounded inner child is fighting their wounded inner child. And the both of you are just bumping heads. You can't see eye to eye, right? It's because there are 2 levels of consciousness happening, wounded consciousness. And both of your inner childs are trying to point the finger. And maybe if you are a child with a wounded mother relationship, you may be looking at your mother in a sense of, I'm the child. Like, take responsibility for what you've done. But I want you to free yourself from that, because can't you see how that's keeping you stuck? I guarantee you 100% of the time, if you've ever been hurt by someone, their wounded child hurt you, and the reason why is because they experienced things in their life that caused them to show up in the ways that they did for you. Give yourself that freedom to see that inner child, because it will heal you, babe. Number 3, see the program for what it is. These wounds cause you to be programmed with the beliefs of women aren't safe or trustworthy. A lot of people with mother wounds, especially eldest daughters, don't feel safe around women, may not have good relationships with women, and feel closer to men, right? If you've ever wondered, why do I have such great relationships with men? I get along with men more than I do women. This is why. Female friendships, even sisterhood, not being able to experience true sisterhood in friendship, or even feeling like it's impossible. All women are bad. Men, if there are men watching this and you may have a program installed in you of thinking all women are bad, all women cheat. See the program for what it is. If you think that it's normal to be cheated on, normal for all women to mislead you, or it is normal to see women talk down on each other, to tear each other apart, that is a program. So I want you to separate yourself from it, because that is not your identity, okay? You inherited that through your trauma. And it is only identification with that trauma, with those programs, that will hold you back from attracting the true prosperity I know that your heart is yearning for. It is stopping you from healing. Number 4, you already know, you might already know, I'm going to say this, inner work. Having someone that is good at seeing the patterns within you, helping you become conscious of the unconscious and what's been controlling your life, will free you. Having someone in your life that you trust to speak openly to be yourself around, who has the energy of love, you trust them, knows they want the best for you, is the best person to co-create with on your healing journey. My love, I promise, inner work is what has freed me from my own suffering. It has allowed me to show up as the woman that I am today in my videos, in my content. Being able to show up online and have fun on a whiteboard and sing and dance with you guys is because I've done the inner work to allow myself that freedom. If you go back and look at my videos from maybe a year ago, my energy is very different, okay? And I didn't know if unlocking that side of myself was possible, and I'm here to tell you that it is. If you find yourself resonating with any of the information I've said in this video, if you can't help but feel like something is blocking you from creating the life that you desire, you can feel it in your intuition, your inner knowing. I am open for coaching. I may be open for a limited time, but you can go down to the description box. My website, awakenherglow.com, is where you can take a look at coaching if your heart feels aligned. You truly need someone that is capable of helping you put the pieces together, especially if it's a woman, because it will help heal your relationship with your mother or feminine energy wounds. If for any reason you may not have access to coaching, have a conversation with someone you trust and wants the best for you. It could be your best friend. It could be an aunt, right? What started my journey, my spiritual awakening, why I am the inner work coach that I am, why I started my YouTube channel, is because my inner work journey started with a loved one of mine, my aunt. My aunt helped me rewire my brain when the emotional traumas, the programs started to surface in my life in my 20s, my early 20s. And Bex, if you're watching this, you are the reason why I am who I am today, why I started this business in the first place, to help people and to free them from suffering. I love you. Just want to give you a quick shout out. The last tip, or the last solution to healing, number 5, finding community, finding sisterhood, whether it be online, it could be someone you look up to on social media. You could invest in a community of women. Essentially, you need to show your nervous system that expansion is safe. Having healthy female friendships can be very, very healing for the mother wound. I promise there are healthy feminine energy figures online, just like there are with masculine figures. Also, another way to help create safety for your nervous system, using discernment with who's in your life and discernment with what you consume. For example, I do not consume any type of content like reality TV where I see women harming other women, whether it be verbally, mentally, or physically. I do not have female friendships or anyone in my life that talk down on women, speak ill of women, tear them down out of their own insecurity or their own wounded child or ego. I do not associate with anyone like that, nor do I consume any content like that. I use my discernment with everything in my life to protect the life force energy that I have worked so hard to nourish. The garden that you actively grow and heal and nourish throughout your entire life by ripping out the old roots of your subconscious, pulling out the dead weeds, planting the new seeds, and watering it day by day. It is important that you use discernment to protect your garden. I feel like I'm losing my voice a little bit. I'm sorry. The last thing I want to say is you should absolutely be loving yourself in the ways that you may have wanted your mother to, or in the ways that you would like your sisters to, your female friendships to. Loving yourself, whether it be through inner work, investing in yourself and healing, allows your heart to open, to free yourself from the survival paradigm of insecurity to creating security in your life and in your heart, so you are able to show up and be love, to be abundance, to feel secure enough to lead with an open heart. Okay, my love, I hope you're having an amazing day. I hope you feel so much love in your heart from this video. Comment below if you are feeling anything from this video that I might be able to help you on. Okay, I love you. I'll see you in the next one.